Hey, 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 top of the morning to you. This is the LinkedIn rerun. Actually, it's not a rerun. This is live. Ryan Fairbanks, hello out there. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. There's one more thing that you need to do once you've found your event in LinkedIn and you've created you've got your stream set up and you got it running and it looks like it's healthy and it even looks like it's telling you about the stream health. There's another go live way in the upper right hand corner, right up there, that you got to hit. I thought I was live on all three platforms, and I was. Is it a lie? I was lying. Not by choice. I didn't know. I was lying out of ignorance. Well, top of the morning to you. This is Brian. Glad to be here with you every week, talking about God, family, abundant life, adventure, and technology. And I'll do my best to repeat what I said, and maybe we'll get posted below this, the other video that went there. Looks like I've got two audience. Thank you for sticking around since we weren't live when we said we were going to be. I thought I was. It looked like it was running. I was like looking over there at that screen. I'm like, yep, there it is. It's going. But it wasn't going. So my message today is, what is your creation consumption ratio? What are you creating in life and what are you consuming? How much of your day do you spend consuming stuff and how much of your day do you spend creating stuff? Creating is where the magic happens. Creating is where the action happens. The creating is where you change yourself, your family, your community, your church, and your world. If you're not creating, what are you doing? Get out there and do something. You got ideas in your head. It's time to bring them to reality. Sometimes we get stuck in that analysis paralysis. We get stuck in that consuming mode. We feel like we're doing good stuff. We're collecting information. We're learning about something. We're reading a book. We're listening to a podcast. You're watching top of the morning to you. And those are all good things. Don't get me wrong. Good is good. But great, it's not. There's no argument. Great is better than good. So we got to look at what's good and what's great and what's going to make a difference. And we're all looking for doing something in life. Yeah, we need a job and we need a particular salary and we're accustomed to a certain standard of living. But beyond the money from that job, what we're really looking is what have we done? What have we changed? What significance or meaning is there in having this job? What is the big thing that we're working on to create? What is the big thing that we're looking for and it's small. We need a lot of them. We need to continually be creating something awesome. We need to create something of value to share with others. That's the same in business, and it's how we're designed. We're designed to do something significant and meaningful. A lot of times I get distracted. What did I write in my notes here? I wrote, it feels like I'm creating. I feel like I'm creating. Yeah, I do. Right now, I am creating. So 1 point for me. You are consuming. 1 point for you on the consuming side. And it's important to look at where that is. I think of creation consumption ratio a lot like budgeting. My wife and I have taught Financial Peace University a number of times, and it's really, really simple stuff. If you have this much money, you budget this much money. And he says to make it even, but you got to make sure, and part of that is saving and setting stuff aside. So you got to make sure you're never spending all that you make, and you've got some of that budgeted to save for later. Same thing with the creation consumption. It's not exactly like money, but it is, because and the currency there isn't money, it's your time. How are you using your time? What are you spending it on? Are you creating? Are you consuming? Consuming is good and creating is great. I'd say and you got to measure it, I guess. Start where you're at. Measure, what am I doing right now is it creating or consuming? What am I just go through that every day. Get out a piece of paper, make a little graph on it, put every hour of the day, and track it for a week, and see how much creating and consuming you're doing this week. And then decide if you like where you're at. Decide if you need a change. I'd say shoot for, first of all, even up. As adults, it's probably easier to create more than to consume, because we work a 40 or we work whatever we're working, or we have some opportunities that way. But then you got to go and take that create and cut it up. I'm creating this for my employer. I'm creating this for my company. I'm creating this for somebody else's real creation, and I got this creation which is just for me, just for my family. And then from there you got to decide you want to change it. Hopefully you could start at 50-50 or better. I'm thinking 90-20. Create 90, 90-20. 80-20. Create 80% of the time and consume 20% of the time, or 90-10. The more you create, the more you bring of yourself, the more you offer yourself to the world. One of the things is thoughts. Thoughts is a way to think and fool ourselves that we're creating something. Oh, I think I'm going to call my mom, and yeah, okay, yeah. And then mom calls a couple days later. Oh yeah, mom, I was thinking about talking to you. And what's really going on in her head is, right, and what's that worth? It's not worth much until we take that action and do something with our life. So it's action, action, action. Nike, just do it. Quit consuming. Just get it out there, get it released, get it launched. Seth Godin, I keep talking about Seth Godin every week. Seth Godin mentioned in his blog this week, oh, it just blew out of my mind. I can't remember what it was. Go look at Seth Godin's posts this week. There's something really good about taking action and doing something and getting it done. If we're not other things that fool us into thinking we're taking action is reading a book, reading fiction, doing some of these other things. My son has struggled with video games. He's still struggling with them, and he gave an argument in his later teens, middle teens, and said, well, Dad, if I sit and read books all day, that's escaping as much as watching my video games. And I kind of had to hesitate, because he's right, and that's what I'm speaking about today. If you're reading fiction and smut and whatever, if you're watching YouTube, if you're scroll dooming on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, you're consuming. Those are worse than reading books, because you're at least reading words and exercising that transition. Well, I guess you're reading. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. The point was, I would much rather have him reading books than playing video games, because of the reading factor. But it's all escape. And if your life is so bad that you need to escape all the time, turn up your action level and you'll feel better. If you're feeling good that you worked and you came home and now you're going to just read or watch TV or just consume to numb yourself down and hide yourself from the real world, I'm sorry. I pray for you, and if you need help with that, let me know, and I'll pray for you by name. And keep coming back to Top of the Morning to you and think about moving forward. It's just like drugs, alcohol, or anything else. If we're just consuming stuff to distract us from where we're at, why don't we take action to move us away from where we're at? Action, action, action. That's what I got down there. I'm sure I left out some of the bits and pieces from my original live stream this morning, so you get a bonus advantage that you can run over to YouTube or briansyme.com and check out that rerun, and or Facebook. And thank you for joining me today, or whenever you do. Top of the morning to you. You be blessed.